limit what are criminal acts against women and children.
All day, you have been reacting to a handful of stories out of the NFL, mostly about players charged with abuse. New developments still coming in today. Also, El Paso city manager shaking things up downtown. He is really making some moves when it comes to his staff, and it's going to save you reportedly about $500,000. The head of El Paso's community college is put under the microscope tonight. Is he really doing the job that he was hired to do? We'll take a look. And have you checked our website to see if you're owed any money? It is the hottest topic at KVIA.com tonight, and many of you still have money just waiting there for you. We'll tell you about it, Nichole.
Well, the rain chances will go up. We'll take a look at the latest StormTrack computer model. I'll let you know how long the rain is expected to stick around. That's all coming up in StormTrack weather.
And it's all next on ABC-7 at 9 on the CW. Get ready. You become part of the day's news right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC-7 at 9 on the El Paso Las Cruces CW.
Everybody, hello, I'm Bob Harp. Thanks so much for joining us tonight on ABC-7 at 9, the Borderlands' only newscast that gives you a chance to shape the stories of the day. And of course, as we tell you every night, you do that through our social media network. On Twitter, we're at ABC7 Breaking, and on Facebook, you can search for us at KVIA.com, and then, of course, our main homepage, KVIA.com. We will get to the big stories that have you blowing up our social media network tonight, but first, another story you need to know so you can chime in on the discussion. The president of the El Paso Community College up for evaluation tonight, Dr. William Serrata. He said the best way to demonstrate how well a president is doing is to demonstrate how well the college is doing. Let's go to ABC7's Ashley Rodriguez. Ashley, you are live tonight with this story. Good evening.
Good evening, Bob. Imagine having to explain to a board why you should be allowed to keep your job. Dr. Serrata not only did that, but he gave a nearly 4.5-hour presentation about it. His biggest accomplishment? Take a listen.
We were selected as one of the top 10 of the entire nation. With this, should we be chosen as the Aspen Prize winner, it comes along with $1 million prize. And so we're certainly excited about that.
That's right. Out of 1,200 colleges, EPCC was named one of the top 10 community colleges in the country. This due to the college's impact on student success. And EPCC and Dr. Serrata had a successful year. The college boasts of rising graduation and retention rates. Serrata was hired in 2012, and the board is satisfied with what he's brought to the campus.
We are one of the finalists for the Aspen Award. The very worst case, if we come in last place for the Aspen Award, we are one of the top 10 colleges in the United States. To me, that's pretty good job security.
Job security, that's for sure. Tonight, the board voted unanimously to renew his contract for 3 years and give him a $15,000 raise. Serrata is a graduate from Texas A&M. Before this, he was vice president at South Texas College in McAllen. Bob, pretty prestigious accomplishment for the college.
Sure is. All right, good news. Thanks so much for that, Ashley. And some city news now. El Paso city manager Tommy Gonzalez, he is now marking already 6 months on the job, nearly anyway, by announcing his new leadership team. Now, we do have a look at the 8 people he introduced at City Hall today. All staffers, minus the new chief performance officer, are current city employees. Gonzalez says that he saved the taxpayers $500,000 by cutting 10 vacant positions. The restructuring is meant to better serve the public, he says, and help elected leaders reach their goals outlined in the new strategic plan.
You add more duties to people who can do more. I'm adding more to myself to do more, and I think people should ask that of us, and we're doing it without being asked. I mean, I think it's important to be as efficient as you can be, and it's just one way we think we were able to do that. But more importantly, it's going to improve communication internally, and I think it externally will provide a better service to our customer.
We do have another look also at the new organizational structure flow chart. There are now 9 people reporting directly to Gonzalez. That includes the new Chief Resilience Officer announced last week and directors for economic development and quality of life. 2 deputy city manager positions were cut, leaving 1 who is in charge of health and safety. There is also a chief financial officer and a performance officer working directly with Gonzalez. I'll get those comments to us right now on our Facebook if you have anything to say about Ashley's story on EPCC or City Manager Tommy Gonzalez's new restructuring of his staff. Let's go and take you out to the streets tonight. This is a live look at traffic from our TxDOT traffic cameras, and they show it looks pretty nice out there at I-10 and Sunland Park. So if you're heading out tonight, at least on the west side and everywhere else we've looked in the borderland, a big thumbs up. If you were, though, one of the thousands of drivers who got stuck in that mess in that same area on the west side, police are telling us it was actually a combination of construction and numerous fender benders that had I-10 West backed up for hours. Now, police are not reporting any serious injuries because of the wrecks, but again, looks so much better tonight. Nichole, both of us, we live in Northeast El Paso. Generally speaking, I'd say maybe a 1-minute drive from Sunbowl to Executive. 20 minutes. That's how long it took me to get to work today from just that one stretch.
Oh, man, yeah, the traffic was bad, east and west, so either way, you were going to get stuck in traffic today, because I got stuck, too.
You know, but we got here, though. That's the main point.
That's all that matters. Yeah. We're here. Let's talk about that forecast for tonight. Now, we are tracking some activity on Doppler radar. Not very much here in El Paso. Most of the activity currently taking place. Notice in Southern California, where they're dealing with flash flood warnings. Even some light rain currently taking place in portions of Arizona. But we'll bring it a little closer to our area where you can see that line of green around Deming, TRC. We may be able to squeeze out a few sprinkles tonight, but no heavy rainfall is expected. But those high clouds, or clouds I should say, will continue to push into our region. Now take a look at this morning's temperatures. We were only sitting in the 30s, so we were off to a very cold start. Good news is tomorrow's temperatures will not be quite as cold. Notice at 6 o'clock, we're already close to 50 degrees El Paso, 47 in Las Cruces. By 9 o'clock, only continuing to warm. And by your lunch hour, temperatures will be in the mid-60s. So expect temperatures to be warmer for tomorrow. But overnight, it will be mostly cloudy. We are tracking very slight rain chances. I'll let you know when we can expect rain in the forecast, possibly coming up in your StormTrack weather forecast.
You know, we haven't talked about rain in a little while, right?
Our word.
All right, we'll get to that. Thanks so much, Nichole. New tonight, if you haven't heard, the EPISD is reassigning Urban High School's principal, LaRon Harp. Very few details coming from the district tonight, other than he is being moved to Andrus High School in an unspecified capacity. A spokeswoman with the district is telling us the move is totally unrelated to any possible restructuring or consolidation of the schools out in Northeast El Paso, but of course we'll stay on top of that. More education news. How about this? Congrats to the San Elizario School District. It earned a top spot in the 5th Annual Advanced Placement District Honor Roll. San Eli is one of 547 school districts in the U.S. and Canada being honored by the College Board because they increased access to AP courses, and the scores on the AP exams were just so good. San Eli, by the way, is the first in the El Paso area to ever get that distinction. ABC-7 tonight uncovering new information on that deadly shooting that happened back on November 21st. This was on the 400 block of Duran. According to the complaint affidavit, 68-year-old Gabriel Chavez shot and killed 46-year-old Gabriel Marquez. This is over a debt, reportedly. Chavez is now in jail charged with murder. The affidavit states the men were arguing over money, and Chavez went to his home to get a gun. Well, Chavez told investigators that Marcos followed him, and Chavez opened fire when Marquez lunged at him. But the document also states Marquez tried to walk away after he was shot, but then Chavez followed him and shot him again. Now to some talker stories tonight. While the issue of domestic violence, it continues to be a problem for the NFL, another one of its stars is trying to get back the right to play again. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is in New York tonight with a story that already has you talking.
Domestic violence was a way of life in my home growing up. My brother and I watched helplessly numerous times as my mother was beaten.
Personal, emotional testimony today on Capitol Hill.
I relate to the 20 million victims, survivors of domestic violence.
A Senate committee addressing domestic violence in professional sports, hearing from representatives from the NFL, NBA, NHL, and MLB, as well as the players' unions.
I want to know if you're developing uniform policies that will effectively and appropriately punish players who commit what are criminal acts against women and children.
While lawmakers question if enough is being done, one player says his punishment goes too far. after agreeing to a plea deal with no jail time for hitting his son with a tree branch.
I stand here and I take full responsibility for my actions.
Today, Minnesota Vikings star running back Adrian Peterson was in New York appealing the NFL's decision to suspend him indefinitely. His hearing comes after former Baltimore Ravens star Ray Rice's penalty for attacking his wife in an elevator was thrown out. An arbitrator ruling on Friday that Rice can now return to the NFL.
And that case was part of what fueled today's conversation on Capitol Hill, with lawmakers saying there needs to be a standard for responding to domestic abuse cases, even when there isn't a criminal conviction. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, New York.
And as for Ray Rice, ESPN is reporting that only 4 teams have shown interest in the All-Pro, and 2 of them have already dropped their pursuit. His wife, Janae's story all over social media still. She says that her husband deserves another chance, which he will get, it looks like, despite the brutal beating she suffered. Janae Rice now says she's not a victim and is actually very upset by how her personal life was made very public.
I was so angry. I was hurt. Seeing the man that I love have everything ripped up from under him, it made me angry. The support system that I thought we had in the Ravens, that made me angry.
Now, Rice's legal battle's not over just yet. He filed a grievance against this team, the Baltimore Ravens, trying to recover $3 million in lost salary for his suspension. Now, tonight on Facebook, a lot of you are chiming in. Cindy telling us this just makes it more difficult to teach boys that it's not okay to hit girls, and for girls that it's not okay for a man to hit you. She's one money-hungry witch. Now, Amy is saying women walk like the crab. This lady, Iggy Azalea, Kardashians, etc., not good girl role models at all. And Vanessa's telling us money talks more than the punches she received. And Pops chimes in saying trading punches for cash. And Susan saying she's nuts to stay with him. IMO, which is in my opinion. Hey, well, speaking of football, another controversy is still brewing tonight because of what a few St. Louis Rams players did Sunday right before the game. Now it's sparking even more talk on this already divisive issue. This is coming out of Ferguson, Missouri. Folks, what you're saying is still to come. And if you are a fan of some pro wrestling, listen up. The WWE is coming to El Paso. Just follow us on social media and KVIA.com, because there we're telling you how to get tickets early. We know you are a big wrestling fan. Nichole, you body slam me all the time when you walk past me in the hallway.
You're not supposed to tell everybody that.
Well, you know, it's hard to hide, all my injuries because, you're so rough.
That is our secret. But we'll take a closer look at Doppler radar. Tracking some activity currently. We may even squeeze out a few sprinkles, but we'll take a closer look coming up at StormTrack weather.
All right, thanks so much for that, Nichole. Now, do not forget that you can chime in on Facebook, on Twitter, even send us an Instagram if you would like. We'll take your pictures there on any of the day's stories. You're watching ABC 7 at 9, where you become part of the news every night. We'll be right back.